the construction sector is one of the most dynamic sectors, creates a lot of employment, but uses also a lot of resources. And in this sense, the highest growth rates for the cement and for the building materials and for the construction industry is in these emerging countries where there, especially in India, you have a high population growth and so much need for infrastructure, for buildings, for housing. So cement is a very important product. And this LC3 cement allows producing with less resources, not only less CO2, but also less resources because it can use clay instead of other materials that will be scarce soon. Well, I see a very bright future, but it may take quite a few years until these building materials become mainstream. What is important is probably to have a lot of model buildings constructed that show and make it popular. And also I think it is important to involve the real decision makers. And I think the decision makers in the construction sector are the builders, the architects, and not the cement companies. The cement companies will just deliver what the market requires. So this will be a task for us to demonstrate and show it to some interested organizations that can support this early adoption. Yeah, we have a very good constellation because we have scientists on the one hand, but both in Cuba as well as in India, with development alternatives, we have an institution that is very practically engaged, and Development Alternatives has worked together with the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation for many, many years in alternative building materials. And they have a very beautiful and very renowned model office in Delhi that is all constructed with alternative building materials. And this gives us a good stake of having combination of theory and practice. For three reasons. One is for the environment. The construction sector is a very important consumer of resources, so you have to go there where the bulk is made. The second reason is that it is a viable alternative that can use the existing resources more efficiently. And India, with that population density and the population growth, is always stressed on resources. So this is very important. Then the environmental aspect of the CO2 reduction may not be a priority for India, but for the world. But the last thing is that the construction sector is very important for poverty reduction because it creates jobs. It is the infrastructure that is serving a whole population. And also housing. Housing is a big, big, big need in India. So if you can make this whole sector more efficient, that is a very important contribution also for a development organization. I always thought when I was younger that if you have a good idea that everybody would chase you, and I think it was Benjamin Franklin who said if you have a better mousetrap then everybody will rush to you, but this is not the case. If you have a new idea, you change attitudes, you change perceptions, you change habits. And this requires a lot. So I think that it is really important first that we prove and demonstrate and create a lobby in favor of this so that it can be pushed by important players.